There it is. The best way I know how, which is starting with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the heartbeat of cryptocurrency. Okay. And I say this from a point of view of like, I've been analyzing and studying Bitcoin for the last 5 years. And like, I went on like a major nerd mode for like when I got hit in 2018, the market started going down. I went on the biggest nerd mode ever. Like I was staying up every night analyzing the charts. And I remember the people I was with, like, oh, it's gonna go up eventually. It's gonna go up eventually. It's gonna go up eventually. And I did not have the community that we have right now to actually be able to share and actually be able to share the information. So once again, like you guys are in the right place at the right time. And with Wealth Empire, we're just going up. All right, so here's Bitcoin. Here's a head and shoulders pattern. So if anyone was watching this during the weekend, you probably would have seen this happening. And you don't trade patterns, but patterns help because 90% of people that are involved in crypto are trading these patterns. So you have to kind of understand that as it's making patterns, like this is the pattern, right? Inverse head and shoulders. For all my traders, what happens when there's an inverse head and shoulders? Well, you can do one of two things. Once you start seeing it, the thing that you have to catch is what? You have to catch this right here, where the shoulders meet, right? So here's the right shoulder, here's the head, here's the right shoulder, here's the left shoulder, here's the right shoulder, right? So I was waiting for this. I was actually watching this all weekend. And then you have another thing, which is the trend line, right? So I'm gonna break it down for you guys on another, actually I'll break it down on another chart, a cleaner chart, just to show you guys how I got this. And then I got 8 cryptos to talk about, eight of them. And 2 of them specifically, I was absolutely shocked when I read about it. I'm like, oh, okay, nice. I was like, yeah. All right, so let's go. All right, so Bitcoin. All right, so I was actually looking out for this. Let me get rid of all this stuff and give you guys a good synopsis. Because like I said, Bitcoin's the heartbeat. I'm not gonna go too deep into where we're going because that's a whole other story, but it's the heartbeat. So something I paid attention to as I was looking at it, right? I was paying attention, I was looking at, grab my fib, and I noticed this. This is your A, so basic correctional wave, right? We always do these correctional waves. So A, B, C, okay? So what do you see happen right here? I'm a basic person, okay? When I look at this, I always have to look at it from a point of view and just be completely basic. Whenever that you find that the market's gonna turn, it will always do some sort of head and shoulders pattern, right? Yeah, and you can find it in the market, and you can find it in like smaller time frames too. But when you find it like on a 4 hour, it's kind of interesting. But what do we see happen here? Okay, so we break it down for you, just for everyone, all my traders, everyone that's learning. Here you go. So we have a downward pattern. We come up, lower high, we make a lower low. Okay. Now, what ends up happening? We come up, we're right here. This is a lower high, and if this holds, this would be what a head and shoulders pattern is, okay? The benefits of knowing what the patterns are is just to know what other people are thinking. Because if other traders are thinking the same thing, then this was a great place to buy. But in terms of a head and shoulders, the best place to actually get a head and shoulders pattern is at the neckline. So what we're looking for at this point is the break and close above here. If this thing breaks above 62, right? So as we continue going up and we break above 62, we're going up. Like there's gonna be very few times that you're gonna be able to get into this. And it's not gonna be like, oh, I'll just catch it next week. Nah, like there'll be very few times you'll be able to get into this, okay? So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if this thing holds the way it does right now, we will see, like, well, I've been really adamant about where I've been. Like my thing about Bitcoin is that we're gonna see 300K by the end of this year, okay? So, and I know for anyone who's just new to crypto and you're like, what? How can it's at 60K right now? How can it go to 300K? Understand that crypto is very parabolic, okay? And the mindset of oh, that's not possible, doesn't exist with crypto. And I thought the same thing. And I was talking to one of my friends today, and I said, the one thing I wish that when I first got started in crypto is that I wish I had the knowledge I have now. Shout out to IM, Curtis Cobain, Crypto Picasso, Nick Gomez, and all of them. But two is that if someone around me had the same knowledge base that I had now and was literally showing me the play, because A, I'd be a lot better off right now. B, I mean, who doesn't want to know the play, right? So that's where I'm at. Okay, so because if you look back and you can go backwards, you can look at you can look at everything that's happened, and you can see it's pretty much done the same thing. So if it does do that, this is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at pretty much until around near the end. This is based off of the fact it does the same thing. We have roughly about a 400%. And this is why I said this is not a lot for Bitcoin. Okay, for it to go from 60 to 300, that's not a lot. Now here's the next crazy thing. Okay, the date range. We're now in November. Okay, this is 30 days, 37 days, 36 days. Let me show you something crazy. Okay. So that's like 43 days. And I'm going to show you something crazy so you guys can understand why I think the way I do. Okay. 2017, this is the last bull run that we had. And this is like the last time that we could have been able to see Bitcoin at a parabolic state. Okay. From not really looking at the patterns, I'm looking at the months. Okay. So here is November. Moonvember. That's what it's called, Moonvember. All right, so you can see that as we go into November, the month kind of takes off. But, so here's October 31st. Here's your all-time high. 47 days. So in 47 days, just so you guys can see this, we shot up 200%, 202%. And if you want to go from there, if you go from the absolute low, it was 254%, which brings you up to like roughly about, that's 20,000. So like right here, 267% in 47 days. Okay, that's one. So what else do we have? Here's two. It's 2000 and this is 2013. Yeah, this is 2014. Okay. So here is the last run too. 2013, November. What happened? Okay. There we go. November was right about here. And from November 1st, 402%. That's November 4th. Sorry, let me bring it down for you. November 1st, 463%. And day range, December, so right there, 33 days. Okay, so don't pay attention to the price, pay attention to the percentages, right? Because the thing you have to understand with crypto is that it's the parabolicness of crypto that makes you want to invest into it. The reason why we're getting into crypto is because it can take you from 0 to hero in less than 30 days, okay? It can make you really, really rich in less than 30 days. Okay, this is 30 days, changes your life, right? But that's just Bitcoin. Remember what I said, Bitcoin is the heartbeat of cryptocurrency. So like, I know I was the other thing I was saying to them, I was like, well, the thing about Bitcoin is this, Bitcoin's gonna go up, but that's just half the actual thing. Because what happens when this happens, right? Now for all my traders, what is this? It's a downward trend. Where's the money going to? Altcoins. So the reason why I'm so big about altcoins is to collect more Bitcoin. But if you don't have enough money, right? This is Bitcoin at $200. If you didn't buy it then in 2013, you missed the boat. Okay, we can't go backwards in time. We can only go forward, and that's okay. Like that's part of life. I like life. Life is good. If you missed this at $5,000, you had a chance in 2020 in COVID, but toilet paper was real. You know, like that's what we have to get. Because that we made the decision, right? Buy toilet paper, buy Bitcoin, toilet paper, Bitcoin, toilet paper. A lot of people bought toilet paper. And we're now here. So my thing is this, okay? Here's where Bitcoin could be going. Now, none of this is financial advice. This is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. And realistically, if it does go there, I look like a genius. It doesn't go there, I'm still okay, because at the end of the day, that means it's doing something different. So understand me when I'm saying that, like, if it doesn't do what I think it's going to do, that just means it's doing something different. And that's okay. But I'm basing my thought processes off that Bitcoin hasn't acted differently in the last 4 cycles. And because it hasn't acted differently, why am I going to start thinking differently about it? Right. And that's how I view this thing. Like, for me now to actually think differently, I would now have to be like, oh, it's doing something different. And it hasn't done anything different throughout this entire bull market. It's actually just playing out to the exact T of whatever's going on. Okay. So here's another thing that happened. When we came here and it swept the liquidity here, and then it closed back up here, this was another sign that these guys are getting ready, right? This is manipulation. Clear signs, right? They take it down, take your traders out, come back up, close here. If you were sitting at your chart, which I was, if you were sitting at your chart and saw that happen, I instantly got in a trade, and I'm still in profit because of the fact that I got in off of like the wick down here as it was heading back up. I was like, buy, and I bought in, and I was like, all right, because there's a good chance we might not close underneath this yellow line. As we don't close underneath this yellow line, like I said, if we keep making higher lows, then once we pass 62, just all bets are off. Like, just get ready, it's going. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking about Bitcoin for this month. So for the month of November, we should seeing close to 6 figures, because, like, understand, this is a lot of room to make up between now and end of the year. Okay, so the other thing that I pay attention to is total market cap, and then I'm going to get into a couple alts, and then I'm going to show you some technical analysis on the rest of the alts that I'm looking at. 2 of them I'm looking at because fundamentally reasons. These things are crazy in terms of technology, and the rest is just technical. I like technical more than fundamental because it just makes sense. I don't really want to know why things are pumping up. I just want to know that they're pumping up. So, like, in terms of the news wise, okay, so here's our total market cap. So this is the entire crypto market. So when I say it's been playing out perfectly, like, see these boxes? I'm putting them there for a reason, because I want to see how this is working. And every single time it hits one of my boxes, I'm getting more confident. This is 50% 618. Okay, boom, hits 50% 618, comes back up, higher high on the total market cap. So my thing is this. Okay, back to percentages. Okay, so you guys can understand how I'm thinking about this. This is $19.95 trillion. Okay, that's 1,400% from where we're at right now. Roughly about 5,000% from the beginning of the bull cycle. Okay, if you go up to 30,000, which I'm going to bring it back down to 20, so you guys can see the real. So roughly about 2,000% from the beginning of this bull cycle. Okay. So when I say I don't really pay attention to where the money's coming from, I want you to understand why I think the way I do. Because here is the last market cycle. Total market cap, 5,000% up from the beginning of the market cap from January 2017 till the end. We went up 5,000% from roughly about November. From November to this was September. July, so halfway through till the end, 1,500%. Okay, so that's 5,000%. I actually dropped the percentages for this year, so you guys can see. Okay, he's actually, like, I'm bringing it down because we're talking about a lot more money. Okay, so when there's a lot more money, I'm not even trying to go like, oh, it's gonna go all the way to the moon. No, not even doing that. Literally 2,000%. It's 3,000%. Okay, from the beginning of January till now. This is 1,400% from July. I'm still expecting this. The only reason I'm still expecting it because it's literally done everything else that I said it's going to do. So now this is it for me. And so this is my conviction. This is what I'm holding on to. This is what I'm believing. So that means everything right now is getting ready to get pumped. So that's why it's all about positions, right? In the altcoin market, because the altcoin market moves after Bitcoin. So the reason why I always talk about Bitcoin first is because the heartbeat, you want to know what's happening next. You want to see what's happening. If Bitcoin's about to pump, that means as soon as it gets to its all-time high, whatever is in your altcoin, as long as you're in the right ones, you will be happy. Okay, so with that being said, 2 cryptocurrencies that I'm looking at, RAD. This one's actually interesting, okay? Because the reason why I found it interesting, it doesn't say anything here about it, right? I like tokenomics. Tokenomics are always good, but I saw this 21 million RAD coins out of a total supply of 100 million. That means it's not a lot. If you're looking to buy or sell RAD, you can get it on Gate.io. You can also get it on Binance. If you don't have a VPN, the Crypto Club has a 72% off with NordVPN. You can go to my Twitter and get it. Shout out to the Crypto Club. All right, cool. So what is it? Free your code. Radical is a peer-to-peer stack for building software together. Sounds fun. Try the beta. So software designing between peer-to-peer. Code collaboration plus Web3. Do you ever hear it? Actually, I put this on YouTube. Like it's like learn to code. That's a bad thing, right? Well, this is peer-to-peer coding, right? And it's all free. Cloud servicing. This is going to be huge. This is going to change the way that people code. Okay, this is decentralized coding. Understand this. Okay, so when I saw this, I was like, late 2021, we're here taking off developer economies. I like where this is going, right? And the thing about altcoins is that they all sound great, right? Every single one of them sound great. And if they actually accomplish what they're accomplished, it even sounds better. But here's what I liked about it, okay? Other than the fact I actually like the project, what I also liked is that we're 62% from all-time high. It pumped when everything else pumped. So this is where I get my thinking cap on, right? When I go to technicals, I start looking at this stuff and I start trying to I paint my pictures and start understanding. So, okay, that means it moved with the market. What are the chances that we move with the market again? Probably very similar. So, okay, so here's where we're at, okay? The expectation is that RAD actually does what it's supposed to do, okay? Let's put on the 50 EMA so you guys can see it. Okay, let me go down to the 4-hour. This coin is one of those coins I call positional. The reason why is because if you can see that's going down, making its lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Now, if this holds, this right here, let me just perfect it a bit. Boom. If this holds, this right here, and then starts making its way up, this is a great coin to get into positionally, okay? Positionally, this is a great coin to get into. Fundamentally, it's a good coin to get into. Timing-wise, we're in a good place to get into. We're at $10. It might get down to 9. It may get down to 6, but if it makes a new high, like look at this. What you're looking for is this, right? This is what all I'm looking for all the time is I'm looking for it to eventually make a higher low, okay? If it makes a higher low, this is one of those coins that can start taking off and running. Boom. Boom. Okay. Now, most of you guys are like, well, what part of it tells you that's going to make a higher low? Nothing really, because crypto, this is what happens. Boom. Then this shot up to what? $18, came back down and made a higher low, and then kind of just started going down under the 50, right? So what you have to pay attention to, what I pay attention to is timing. In terms of timing in the crypto market, that's what I'm paying attention to. So if this thing makes a higher low, this is a great thing positionally to get into. And in terms of coding, this is going to be a good thing just to get into overall because it's coding, right? Peer-to-peer stack for building software. You might not sound too crazy about it. I am. Okay, next. Oh, I dropped this in the chat, and now I'm going to talk about it a bit more again. Jasmine, make sure you guys have this. This is another one that I said, Remember, I talk about these things. I look at it and I say, here's a consolidation, Coinbase listing. Here's some consolidation, potential Binance listing. This coin is currently at 11 cents. My expectation for this is 13. So that's 1,500, 15,000%. Okay, so let me just break this down for you, okay? And this is no income claims, but it is going to be income claims, okay? Okay, so back in 2017, there was a coin called ICX that a friend of mine bought, okay? I bought some of it too. So the friend of mine bought it at around 11 cents. He put, let's just say $300 and bought it as an ICO. And held it for 6 months. That $330, that's like $300 that he put in, shot up to roughly about 13 and gave him 4,000% increase on what he put in. And this is actually not even the actual, you can't see the 11 cents on this because it starts at 67 cents, but it really was like 11 cents. It was like here. So altogether, that's how much X he made off of that. Look at the timing, January 15th. Not saying that it's going to do the same thing, but I am saying it's a great coin to get into that's really low right now, and it's about to get listed on Binance, okay? So you see the reaction of Coinbase listing, it's about to get listed on Binance. Why am I so bullish on Jasmy? Oh, look at Bitcoin doing its thing. The reason why I'm bullish on Jasmy is because it's the only coin that can be traded right now, one of the only coins that can be traded right now in Japan. If you guys don't know, Japan's laws with cryptocurrency is really, really sour. But as it gets introduced to America, right? Because it's getting introduced to America, right? Here's what they're working on. So this is the projection based off of a 4618 extension. I'm saying to the moon because I'm expecting it based off of the bullishness of this coin. And right now in the if you're in the Discords, if you're in the Telegrams, if you're watching what people are talking about, this is one of the coins that people are very bullish about. But it's like, when no one's talking about it, and then you're like, oh man, I want to get into that coin that everyone's talking about. That's where you're already too late, right? You want to be in the coin that everyone's talking about, but no one's actually talking about. The people that are talking about are people like me, who are just people who are involved in crypto and looking at stuff, and they're like, oh, have you seen this coin? Oh man, I'm so excited about it. You want to be in coins that make crypto people excited about. Coins that make regular people excited about, if you're in it and you're in it too late, then you might have missed it. But there is something I want to talk about with Shiba, because I was reading about it this weekend, because I really want to understand the hype. It's kind of like Dogecoin in terms of understanding the hype. And the one thing I know, if you can make money with it, I'm always game to check it out. Okay, this is the next coin, Audius. Now, this was an interesting one. And now for anyone that's a music head, you might like this one. 54% down from all-time high. That's something I really liked. Another thing that I liked about it is it's not really a lot. It's on the Solana ecosystem, so shout out to anyone that knows Solana. It's good. It's a non-fungible token, which is always good. But here's what they're actually working on. We give everyone freedom to share and listen. So remember Napster and like LimeWire? Oh, BitTorrent. Like you guys know those. Discover and stream up and coming artists. Sign up for free. What is it? Well, what they're doing is kind of like a SoundCloud, but except it's decentralized. Built by Deadmau5, Rez, Blau, MR Carr, whoever this person is. I don't know any of these people. Honestly, I know Deadmau5 and I know Blau because he was involved with Origin Protocol. This is probably going to be something really huge. And I say this from a point of view, just in terms of what it's actually going to turn into. This is going to be huge. Okay? Decentralized. So you always want to look for something that's decentralized. Start listening. They already have a working app. Like, these are things that you want to look at. This is the actual thing. But what do they have? A token. Currently at 218. 54% from all-time high, right? The tokenomics are there, but in terms of what it can be built into, I think this will be huge. Audius is a decentralized music streaming protocol. Artists can upload their music to the network, which will be streamed by nodes to listeners through the mobile app. Audio is a native token and platform is used to staking, governance, incentivize earnings for artists, fans, and node operators. So that's why one of the reasons why people will hold on to it, because it's used for staking. Staking is one of the best things you can do, because when you hold on to staking projects, okay, it just means you get to hold on to it and make money off of it, passive income. It's incentivized for you to hold on to it. And the earnings are for the artists, the fans, and the node operator. So you as a fan can make money off of just being on it. The Audius project recently announced a partnership with TikTok, come on guys, in which music's on the platform will be available to the users on one of the largest social networks in the world. Man, if you're not excited about this, I don't know. Because this right here, this is gonna be game changing, okay? Because when I saw this, I was like, I started seeing it in like, once again, I'm like deep in the trenches with Telegram and Discord. Like and I say this, I've been on Telegram since 2016, 2017. I'm on so many Telegram chats that every single time that someone's like, "Oh, go on Telegram," I have to delete chats because I get thrown in all these different places. I don't even use Discord anymore, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of people trying to offer me NFTs, and I'm like, what is going on? That's how I know we're getting into the crypto craze, okay? But you want to make sure you're in the right places. This is probably one of those ones that you want to do some deeper research, deeper dive. But if you're not excited about what I just said, which is real life application, okay, that's what you really want to focus on. Real life application. If you can't find real life application in something, then it's going to be very hard for you to be like, oh, let me get this. But here's another thing I like. So that was the fundamentals. Here's your technicals. What do we have? Wedge. It's actually a bullish wedge. So what do you have? Bump, 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 bump. Stay in the same side. Lows are not getting lower. It's just it's making lower highs, but not lower lows. Breakout. Close above. To the moon. That's my best impression of Elon Musk, right? Like, but it's actually just a dope project to look at, because the fact that they're going to be doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Like if you're looking at iTunes, you might want to start looking at this, and this can change the way that we do music. Because think about it, right? iTunes right now, you pay for it. Imagine that they do this, which you get paid for it, right? You get paid as the listener. It's one way you're going to get it. So just saying, this might be something you want to look at. They also have podcasts. This is another thing that you can get paid for just doing stuff, just being on it. But the crazy thing is the partnership with TikTok. I'm sorry, guys. Like TikTok, you might say TikTok. A lot of people say TikTok's for like high school kids. But guess what? People get older. And if that's what they're using right now, where do you think we're going next? Why do you think Instagram's always focusing on Reels and shortened up everything? They focused on IGTV and then like Reels. Why? Because they want to combat with TikTok. Duh. So now you gotta look at it like, oh, yeah, this is gonna be fire. Okay, so definitely look this up. Start looking into it. Another thing to look into, man, I'm dropping some sauce for you guys right now. Sunday swap. Okay. This one's crazy, because this is Cardano's decentralized swap. So you guys heard of Pancake Swap, you guys heard of Polka Swap, right? Uniswap. This is Cardano's decentralized exchange. Make sure that you guys start reading about this. This is just, I can't drop anything more about it because it's not a lot. But if you guys remember, Uniswap gave out 400 Unis tokens for people just utilizing it. Just being on it, okay? I'm gonna look at tokenomics right now with you guys. Uniswap did that. PolkaSwap gave people PolkaSwap tokens because they gave liquidity pool, right? What do you think these guys are gonna do? 2 billion Sunday tokens will be minted and inception on the DEX. 55% of it's going to go towards the public, right? That's 1 million, 1.1 million Sunday swap tokens to the public. Okay, I actually like these tokenomics because what they're looking at right now is that they're going to keep on putting out things slowly in terms of governance, profit sharing, reduced fees, and whatnot. You're going to want to understand what's really happening here, because what's really happening is that this is going to change the way that you're actually, the whole decentralized exchange route is going to go. When Cardano starts introducing their thing, that's another place that you can potentially do yield farming, do staking. There's a lot of things you can do on DeFi. So I highly suggest you guys start learning about this in terms of just keep this on your radar. Like just write down Sunday swap, go onto the Telegram, start reading about it, get on these places, because you want to be one of the people who give towards the liquidity pool if they end up having one. Because what they'll do is like they might be like put in ADA and Bondly or something like that, okay? Or Bondly and something else, some ADA tokens. This is how it might work. And you have to hold it for X amount of days, years, months, whatever. And then they're gonna give you back Sunday swap in return, plus you get to keep what you put in. Sounds really cool now, right? Because then you're not really losing anything. So let's say, for instance, you had 1,000 ADA tokens, and you decided let's just say that there's nothing in here that says anything about it yet. Let's say that they're doing liquidity pool farming. You can put like 1,000 ADA tokens, and let's say the equivalent of that in Bondly. Okay. So then what they'll do is that they'll match it, and they'll keep on giving you back the Sunday swap tokens. Plus, because because you're one of the people who are part of the liquidity pool, they will probably give you stuff on top. So just pay attention to what's happening here. There's nothing that is like what's the word? Nothing that's official yet, but I'm paying attention to this. So I just wanted to give that to you guys so you guys can kind of see it early, because this one I was actually really excited about it when I heard about it. I'm like, yeah, this one's exciting. Okay, so those are my kind of, there's one more that I didn't talk about. Curate. Okay, so this is another one that I like as a fundamental and as a technical. Teacup, cup and handle. Okay, so there's two things that happen. The fact it came down here, I'm actually not worried about that, because as long as it makes a higher low here, this is actually a good thing, because I was like looking for it to come up and above and buy it there. But the fact that it's coming lower, I'm actually even more happy, because this is the Salvador Alvarez's teacup pattern. I understand it, but I also, the way that a pattern actually works is funny, because it's actually it's supposed to sell for a certain amount of pips, and then it continues, but a cup and handle will generally continue going up, right? So what we're looking at here is this. Here's your 50%, 618, so we can see what we broke underneath it. So what you're looking for is the retrace of the 786, 886. If it holds and makes that higher low, or at least holds this yellow line, this is something you want to keep on your radar. What are they doing? Well, they're a glassless NFT and peer-to-peer marketplace. Man, I'm telling you, gasless. What's the number one issue right now when people are trying to buy NFTs? Gas. Look at the differences. This is OpenSea. This is Curate. Gasless. None of them are gasless. Free minting. None of them are there. Commission. It's a bit higher than OpenSea. Physical goods, none of them have it. Multi-chain, none of them have it. Token, only Rarible and Super Rare have it, but this one has it too. Carbon neutral, none of them have it. Once again, something you might want to start looking into, because NFTs are what? Huge right now. NFTs are so huge, but here's the next thing. See how many tokens there are? I have to pause for that. 8.5 million. Okay, so understand what I'm saying here. Here's where they are on the roadmap. They just got onto KuCoin, and here's where they're building. They're going to eventually get the Binance Pay integration, Polkadot agnostic partner integration. So are they? Wait 1 second. Ooh, actually, that might be something That might get me. I actually didn't see look at that. They're part of the Polkadot project. If they're fighting for a Polkadot parachain, then it's a wrap. Just make sure you're, yeah. Let's see. Polygon. Okay, cool. Ooh. Let's say Polkadot. Where is it right now? There it is. Carry. Okay. So this is another one that you should be really bullish on, just because the tokenomics are there, man. I'm telling you guys right now, when you see low tokens and they're actually building something and NFTs are hype, why would you be fighting this? Okay. Like, you don't need to understand too much. All you got to understand is that people are loving NFTs right now, and the NFT hype is huge. So find someone that's a dealer in NFTs and figure out how I can make money off of it. It's pretty straightforward. Buyers and sellers receive 0.5 of each cure, X cure in every sale, buyers and sellers. Man, this one's crazy. Okay, so this one's on KuCoin. Now, if it makes a lower high, if it continues going down, I actually would want to go down. And here's where I would want to go down to. Like, if you really want to, if you're looking at it from a point of view of like, how low do you want this to go? Okay. Ideally, I'm looking at well, I guess that's the 50% 618 of that whole move. I'm looking for it to come into this box. Okay. If it comes in this box and holds, which is the 786, 886 of this move, if it holds that, expect to start making its move up. Okay. Get on KuCoin, figure out where you need to find some money, and this might be something you want to be looking at. Okay. Sheep. I know I'm not. I don't really talk about. I don't talk about a lot of meme coins. I don't talk about any meme coins. Okay. This one got me interested, and I'm not interested in like it's going to the moon. I don't. There's a couple things I don't like about it, and I'm gonna give you my like non-biased opinion about it. I just pay attention to things that can make me money. Okay. And that's why I started doing research on it. I'm like, am I too late? 17% down. Like, obviously, the best time to buy was last year, like realistically, but like we can't go backwards. You can only go forward. Only if you had a time machine and then go back. And you can be like, tell yourself, buy Shiba Inu at 56 cents. Just put $100 in. You'll be rich. Yeah. Like, but at the end of the day, like that wasn't, I'm going to tell you guys the honest truth. If anyone says like, oh, like, yeah, I could have, but realistically, that was the probably as an investor, that wouldn't have been the best investment. But the thing about crypto, it's already like really, what's the right word? Really volatile. Okay, so SHIB. Here's the interesting thing about SHIB. Okay, 40% of it was donated. Okay, so 40% of it was burnt forever. Okay, they actually gave 50% of the supply to Vitalik. Okay. The proceeds, he donated 10% of his sheep holdings, or the relief effort, and the remaining 40% burnt forever. So he gave $1 billion to India. And so I didn't really fully, I never took it in until I actually did my research. He gave $1 billion to India, which makes it one of the largest donations ever in the world. This token is not going anywhere. Now, here's the reason why. Because it participated in this. This is world-changing and showing the power of cryptocurrency. He gave $1 billion through crypto for COVID relief to India. So that's when I started realizing, I'm like, okay. And then 40% of it's burnt. So that means it's all 50% of it's gone, right? So 40% burnt. So what does that mean? Right? That's the part I really want to know. So here's a circulating supply. And you might be seeing this on Coin Market Cap, where it's talking about the amount of tokens given, the amount of tokens left. And it doesn't really match up, right? It doesn't really match up at all towards what's actually there. There actually should be less. So something they're talking about is that the circulating supply right now is off on CoinGecko and on CoinMarketCap. And when I started reading about that, I'm like, huh. So what does that mean? And then on coin market cap, they actually talked about it, that it's off, and they're saying that the actual Shiba Inu, like how much is there, is 380 something quadrillion, which doesn't make a difference in terms of the price too much. But the thing that coin market cap, that's where I was going. Coin market cap. This is where I wanted to get into in terms of this.com. Okay. I never thought I'd be talking about Shiba Inu, just letting you guys know. But I've been looking, I actually wanted to look it up because I get a lot of questions regarding SHIB. And my general consensus of cryptocurrencies is that as long as it's making you money, more power to you. I don't really care, because I understand why I'm here. Right? I understand the assignment. We're here for make money, right? That's it. So I'm not going to discriminate against like, oh, well, that's a lower class crypto. Doesn't matter. Just the things I used to do, this is a lot better and a lot safer, and I'm not hurting anyone. All right, so SHIB. So here's where they got it wrong. And you can see on coin market cap, they have the exact same circulating supply, which apparently is wrong. So when I started realizing this, I'm like, okay. So when you go onto the SHIB, what's it called again, website, this is actually a 3 and not a 5. So that's when I was like, huh. So what does that mean? Can it get to a cent? That's the part where I was like, can it get to a cent? And in order for it to get to a cent, one person did the math, and it was something like a $6 trillion getting into the market cap. Was it 6 trillion? No, sorry, it's $3 trillion getting to $4.3 trillion getting into the market cap. Then I was like, oh crap, it can get to a cent. And so here's why. Back to my original math, okay, which would give you 39,000%. Okay, so back to my original math. I expect $20 trillion to enter the market, okay? If this holds as a top 4 as a top 9 in the top 10 or in the top 20, this will get a lot of the market dominance. If it holds a 2% market dominance of $20 trillion, that would put it with 5% is 2, so put it at 1.3 trillion. If it holds a market dominance, and let's say for instance it gets a market dominance of 5%, which is possible, like anything's possible in crypto, that would give it enough to get to the amount of trillions of dollars that needs to be in it for it to actually get to a cent. Right now, this is like a lot of ifs and maybes and who knows, but realistically, I'm just paying attention to it as a thing of like, huh. So I bought a little SHIB. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I actually bought. This is one of those things where it's like, ooh, I actually just bought a little, not a lot. I didn't put a lot into it because I didn't want to. I'm not one of the people who will be. I'm not expecting it to happen, but if it does follow through with the way that I've been projecting the entire crypto market, and this stays as a top token, then this would be potentially further in terms of like Dogecoin versus this. This would actually be a better gain than Dogecoin because of this. Because of where we're at with Dogecoin, Shiba Inu is where Dogecoin was back in 2017. Where all of a sudden this happened. Right? And then they're just floating into 0.0s, and then all of a sudden this happened. Right? The only difference between Doge and Shiba is that it doesn't have as many tokens. It doesn't have much tokenomics in it, right? Like this was the first initial pump with Doge when it got to a cent. And we were sitting at 0.002, and then it shot up to 1 cent. Okay. Now, mind you, like I said, it's not one of those ones I'm looking at as like this is going to the moon, I'm putting all my money in it. No, just putting a little bit, just put a little bit. The other thing that Dogecoin, so here, speaking of Dogecoin, here's the next thing. There's another coin I don't talk about, but meme coins are hot. People are putting money into it. Follow the money. That's what I always say. because at the end of the day, who am I to argue with what people want to put money into? I'm just here to make money off of it. And the reason why I'm more confident about it is because I called this perfectly. Like this was when I called this perfectly, it was the top of Doge. And it was based off of the whole Elon Musk thing. Like I didn't think it was gonna get to $1, and I also don't think Shiba Inu is gonna get to a cent. But I think it can get close, and if it gets close, that's enough money for me. So here's what I saw. This was May 3rd. This was the night of Saturday Night Live. What happens as soon as Saturday Night Live happens? Boom, it starts tanking. Like it literally starts tanking. This is like the hour of Saturday Night Live, like literally to the hour. Boom, tanks. Then makes a lower high. Boom, tanks. Lower high. Boom, tanks. And as a trader, you know this. And I had all these marked up. Boom, 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 high, boom, low. And at that point, I'm like, I'm a good trader. And also I knew, okay, I can now get into something like this and feel confident I can get out because my analysis was right. One, two, I trust my analysis, so I'm okay with it. So at that point, I feel more confident because I didn't want to be in something and not understand it. So Dogecoin could potentially get to $1. That will probably be the top, which is 415%. So that being said, if you were to compare where Dogecoin's at, which is 415%, which is the 4x rise, that is potentially what it can do because of how many the tokenomics and everything versus Shiba Inu. Okay. So let's go back to Sheeb. If you were looking at like one versus the other, Sheeb has a better opportunity for a larger gain. Okay, so what does that mean in terms of a larger gain? Okay, so once again, I mark up my charts, held the position, boom, double bottom. If we break this high, we're making an all-time high with Sheeb again, which means nothing. I guess I get to celebrate with everybody else. I probably won't be celebrating because I don't like to talk. I don't like to like these are like it's not fun when it's doing what you said it's going to do. I mean, it's like, oh, it's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. But if we do another, this is like 4618 from where it is right now. That's only 104%, 140%, 140%, which is not bad. So a penny, just so you guys can see, is all the way up. We're not even at a penny yet. This is a penny. You can see how shrunken it is. Okay. There we go. So a penny would put us somewhere around here, which is like almost 13,000. Yeah, 13,000%. My guess is that we'll probably end up somewhere around here, which is 7,000%. Now, one of the reasons why I think that is because I think there'll be enough to push us up. I just don't think there'll be enough to take us there, right? And it goes back into how much money has to sit in the market cap. It said $4.3 trillion. The one thing versus this for Shiba versus Doge as well is that there's a max supply. There's no more. They're not minting more tokens. They're actually getting rid of tokens with their burn mechanism. So this was actually an interesting one that I had to dive deep into. So I had to share that with you guys in terms of like what I found during my deep dive. And if you guys have it already, cool. If you guys don't have it already, you don't have to get it. But I'm telling you guys right now, this is a potential. And I saw Doge and I saw the power, not the power of memes, but I saw the power of people getting FOMO in. And that is very, very strong, right? The Robinhood thing that's about to happen with them getting listed on more exchanges, potential coin burns. Right now, people are having a tremendous amount of FOMO with Sheep. So, like I said, who am I to not argue with them? Because I was looking at it from perspective of, now I look at it perspective of what's a couple $100. Okay, CFG. This is a coin that made us a lot of money at certain points because we were able to get into it over here. And it initially gave us the 100% that we were looking for. It gives 146%. And now it's making the higher low that it's making, and it's kind of making that like it's kind of chilling. It hit the 886, right? So this one is, my expectations for this one is 22. Like, so this is something that is not part of a polka dot project, Century Fudge. I did a video on this a while ago, or I called this a while ago when we were back here. So I'm not going to talk about it again, but I will say, start looking at this coin, CFG, it's on KuCoin, and it is at the 786 or 886 of this. So it means that we should be making a lower high. BitTorrent, this was something I found interesting. Okay, actually, I took a look at this, and on a higher time frame, so I went on the highest time frame, and BitTorrent's one of those ones that someone asked me about a long time ago. BitTorrent actually is the same as Audius almost. I actually have BitTorrent on my other computer. You can download things and use the BitTorrent app, and I get free BitTorrent for using it, so it's actually pretty dope. But it's on pace to make another all-time high because it moved. You find things that move, like it moved with the rest of the cryptos, so it would probably move again with it. And if it does, here's a 1.272. That's your first target, which is 1 penny, and it's currently sitting at 0.3. So that's 282%. Now it's like moon, can it moon? A moon would be for me 4618. It could happen. I just don't see it happening, which is 1200%. I see it happening with some, but not others, because of the fact that it depends on the project and ecosystem it's with. So I don't really think that everything's going to hit a moon, but I think everything's going to hit a new all-time high. IOI, UST. Okay, so this one's interesting. These are the technical analysis, okay? So this, so you guys can see, like, I look at fundamentals, and then I also look at technicals, and sometimes my decisions are based off of technicals. Sometimes my decisions are based off fundamentals, and sometimes my decisions are based off technicals and fundamentals. So if it's technicals and fundamentals, I'll go deeper into why, the coin, and all that stuff. If it's just technicals, I'll just show you a technical analysis I'm looking at, and it's up to you to decide on whether or not this is something you want to take. IOI USDT, you can see it's making higher highs, blow up, come down, channel, breaks this trend, comes back on top of the trend, and now we're in the channel, breaks above the channel, comes back in the channel. So it starts continuing on this higher high, but lower highs and higher lows, right? It's the same, it's a bullish wedge. And what do you think is going to happen? It's going to break out of the channel and go. So where can it go to? Anyone that's looking at taking this, so I like doing, what the heck? What is that? Okay. Jokes on me. This thing's like a never ending, like, it's just a wick. This is like, where's the longest wick ever? Right here. I don't even know what the top is, and I don't really want to even look at it. Okay, so I can't, I'm not gonna base my top off of that, because that's like a fall from heaven. Jeez. Like, it just like fell, and it was like, here's a new crypto, and it's low. All right, so here's a 50% 618, and you can see we're kind of chilling there. Here's 50% 618. We get lower, we get higher, and now what I'm expecting is for it to start making its way back up, right? Start climbing up the 886, start climbing the 50% 618 again. And if I was looking at this as something, for me, I pay attention to 100%. Like, but the thing about it is that some coins aren't going to do it right now. Some coins might be ones that you want to hold for longer. So if it is something you want to hold for longer, then these 618 pair, like, just giving you guys a reference of how I do things. Another thing I look at is the 618s. These are my extensions. So I look at 618s as my extensions to take profits. So if it's going to smash a new all-time high, right? This is 180%. For me, I only take 100%, which is not even all-time, which just gets you a bit over all-time high, because I go into something else. So if it does end up doing this, great. I will take off I'll take off a large portion of what I have, go into something else, and I'll leave the remaining for whatever happens next. Okay. Next and last, Chills, CHZ. This coin was called by Cobain last year down here. This coin shot up to $1. Okay. came back down. And once again, look at the timing. Is when you find cryptos that move together, that are in unison, that are synced, they're not going to stop being synced. In fact, they're going to be even more synced. Just understand your own technical analysis. When you find something that's synced, it's synced with other cryptos, it's going to move with other cryptos. So here's your 50% 618 of this high to this low. Rejection, obviously. So what can you find now? What are you looking for? Higher low, right? You're looking for it to make a higher low now. So boom, template 50% 618. Let's get rid of this. Oh, look at that. We're right in the box. That holds this box, expect it to make a higher low. You can also see that there's a gap. It might come just a bit lower, fill the gap, right? Smart money works in crypto too. So if it comes back just a bit lower, fills the gap, it doesn't need to at this point. It fulfilled, it pretty much fulfilled the whole thing. Oh no, it didn't. You know what? It could come back and fill that gap because the gap is right down here. For anyone who doesn't know what the gap is, bounce back bootcamp. Okay. It can come back and fill this right here. And if it does, then it would wick into it. Like and crypto, you can use a 4 hour, you can use a 1 hour, you can use a 30 minute. I don't because I'm a positional trader in crypto. So I look for positions to get into. This would be a prime position for me to get into in chills. You can look for the 88786, 886. Just for me, it's just sometimes I wait, other times I don't, because it all depends on the season, right? And I'm positional. I don't mind this position. Now, if you want to wait, you can, but it can also just go up, and now you got to buy it up here. So if you're one of those people who like to be like, I want to get every position, then just grab your fib. This is a great place to buy it right now, 50% 618. The next place that's a great place to buy it, your 786, 886. And if you're like, all right, so what do I do now? You buy some here, and you buy some right here, and you buy some right here, and you might put some buy orders right in here in the middle right here. And if you do all that, then you're dollar cost averaging on the way down, and then now you get to reap the rewards as it goes up, right? Depends on how you like to trade. You have to figure that out in terms of what type of trader you are, right? But this would be a good dollar cost average on the way down. And then you now can sell it off as it goes up, and you have many buy orders. So what it's called is that you can find once you have multiple buy orders, you have a common price. So it'll average out the price that you bought it in at. So let's say it's at 42 cents right now. You have a position at 36 cents. You have another position at 32 cents. And let's say you have your largest position at 28 cents. If it makes it down to 28 cents, your average price would be like 30 cents, right? So then when you're looking at how high I want to take it up, use your average price instead of the price you bought it at. So this is like multiple twin trading, multiple buy orders. This is another way. This another thing you can do. I do this sometimes when I'm not done. When I'm not too sure. So a lot of times I just do market buys because I'm really not impatient. I just don't care sometimes. Like I don't care about the perfect position because I'm only trying to take 100%. So for me, it's literally like if I missed out on this and it goes back up, there's times where I don't care, and there's times where I'm like, nope, bro, I'm waiting for that position. I'll wait for it until I have to go to sleep and read 20 pages again. All right, and I showed this one. Did I show this one last week? I think I did. I don't know. Well, I'll show this one too. Cup and handle. Here's what to expect out of this one. This is called BZX protocol. It's on Binance. The expectations is that we do at least a 1618, which would put us at $2.74. It's currently at 39 cents. So just in terms of getting your altcoins ready, here's another 568%. So here's the next thing, okay? Like I said, I pay attention to 100%, okay? So I can give you guys a tip here. And I'm gonna stop recording because now we're gonna talk about income. All right, peace out, YouTube.